the metaphysical. Ooh, you're something spiritual. Ooh, you be my antidote. Cause you're my
nice if we can see some faces if we can click our video. So, there you go.
I feel your energy. Cause you're my antidote. You're my antidote. Cause you're my antidote. You're my antidote. Cause I'm in love, you already know. The only one I'm thinking of, the cure is the one above you. Cause I'm in love, you already know. The only one I'm thinking of, the cure is the one above you. Cause I'm in love, you already know.
Does everybody have their glass of cocktail? Awesome.
Stacking up my money, no time for your shit. Money kulakbo, I don't care for your hate. Me no fighting. Throwing tantrums from bungalow but out there. I did my penthouse, you can't even reach me. Me no frightened. It is not your fight, stand down. I'm not the one, calm down. You know I'm not your problem. You can't be me, why bother? Don't have your time now. Ole mumi bow down. To bambi no farabale. Oboya ko lari mole. Okay. It's okay, let them see. Trouble no they pay me. Kinjaye on a daily. Okay. We go there, okay. I just want ya hear me. Look.
Alright, so what you heard about
Hey, baby, it's your daddy. My grace, you define. I get it times two. You dey eye me. Let me remind you. No, they try me. But to bury me, go my berry. Yeah. You got my attention. Now, what you gon' do? You the tension, but your legs are kung fu. Oga, cool it down. Cause me no fighting. It's not your fight, stand down. I'm not the one, calm down. You know I'm not your problem. You can't be me, why bother? Don't have your time now. Ole mumi bow down. To bambi no farabale. Oboya ko lari mole. Okay. It's okay, let them see. Trouble no they pay me. Kinjaye on a daily. Okay. We go there, okay. I just want ya hear me. Look.
Alright, it is now 6:10, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday evening to spend with us. I'm sure more and more people will trickle in later on here.
Open my eyes, show me who they for
But we're going to go ahead and start, okay? Hope everyone is
Make I
having
know they pop
a
rose
good day
with
so
my
far.
enemy.
Let's stop the music.
Scatter them far away across the 7 seas.
Okay. All righty then. So once again, welcome, and the program is beginning. The Nigerian Physicians Advocacy Group is a US-based nonpartisan organization. It was created by passionate Nigerian physicians who believe that the vision of a healthier Nigeria cannot be achieved. The Nigerian Physicians Advocacy Group is a US-based nonpartisan organization. It was created by passionate Nigerian physicians who believe that the vision of a healthier Nigeria cannot be achieved without good governance. Our mandate is to encourage Nigerian citizens to engage in the political processes that affect their lives daily. As Nigerian citizens, we know about the problems. We must engage in a united front to create sustainable solutions. Our organization wants to create a mind shift within the Nigerian leadership and citizens through grassroots advocacy. We are lobbying to ensure passage of electoral reforms that will improve transparency in the election process. Join us, donate, learn more at npagroup.org. It's not news that Nigerian Americans have attained significant achievements. And we at the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas ponder about the Nigerian healthcare dilemma regularly for years. And finally really came to the conclusion that if we want to get the healthcare system that we're used to in the diaspora, for our families, for our friends, and even for us when we go back home, that it's really important to deal with the governance issue. So for me, I think this is most important. And governance comes with civic participation, civic engagement, meaning me, meaning you, going out there, registering to vote, and voting when the time comes. And I think that this is something that really Nigerians of higher socioeconomic status and diaspora can really drive. So one of the things that we did at AMPA was to create the Nigerian Physicians Advocacy Group. And really our mission or our mandate is to educate political leaders, to influence governors as a way to promote health. I think that COVID-19 has shown us that health care or health in general is tremendously important for economic development.
All right, thanks. Welcome to our very first Connect and Social Cocktail Hour. Everybody knows Nigerians, we work hard, we like good things, but we also like to connect with each other. So after discussing with our organization, we thought this would be a nice way for us to get to know each other. And not only get to know each other, but also get to know about this wonderful organization called Npag'S. So my name is Ololade Akintoye. I am a pediatric cardiologist in the Orlando, Florida area. Npag'S was created out of AMPA, actually. Most of you are part of AMPA, and we did this due to the understanding that the vision of a healthier Nigeria can only be achieved if we have good governance. Because as you all know, we all want a better Nigeria, not just by talking and not just for us, but also for the future of our kids and our their future generation. We know Nigeria has so much to offer if only those dreams were actualized. So the vision of Npag is to therefore promote good governance, because we know without good governance, we can't have healthcare, as we've talked about. So what do we mean by good governance? This means that we want our leaders to conduct public affairs and manage the public resources in a manner that is free of abuse, free of corruption, and free of disregarding for the rule of law. We want the governing body, or whoever is governing our country, to actually think about not just the present Nigeria, but the future of Nigeria. So with that being said, I hope this is giving you a little bit about what Npag is. As we get started, we're going to start with a little icebreaker. But before that, if you've not changed your Zoom name already, go ahead and click on participants, go to your name and click on it. It gives you the option to edit your name. Go ahead and put your name as you want to be called. Let us know what your specialty is, and also let us know where you are. And please feel free to look at the participant and see who you connect with, and feel free to chat in the chat with each other. But besides that, please stay muted. If you need to talk, it's okay to raise your hand. We'll be glad to have you. So for our icebreaker, I would love to know, like I was talking to Dr. Yuri James, our president earlier, and we are talking about our favorite Nigerian shows or favorite Saturday morning shows, even growing up in America. And my favorite show growing up when I was young was Checkmates. I don't know if anybody have heard of it. So I really want to know in the chat, what are people's favorite show, your favorite movies? What was that show you're like, oh man, I remember that? My second favorite show, I would say, was this is when I was a little bit older here in the United States, was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And they actually have a reboot of it, which I'm actually now quite obsessed with. So let's go ahead and put in a chat while Dr. Iyori preps up our next videos, what your favorite shows were, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's see, what are people saying? And please feel free to reply all. If you reply to me, only I see it. What was your favorite show? I really like Checkmates, yes. Fresh Prince, yes. Everybody loved Fresh Prince. I love Fresh Prince. Oh, can't be Cosby Show either. Fresh Prince. I think Fresh Prince and Cosby Show takes it for the win. Were there any shows back in Nigeria that people remember that maybe some of us, Village
definitely Headmaster. The Village Headmaster.
Oh,
somebody wrote that. Yeah.
Tales by Moonlight was one, right? Tales by Moonlight. I remember that. Yep.
What else?
Let's see. Keep putting it in the chat and we'll go ahead. The New Masquerade. I don't know if I know that one. It's a different world.
It's a different world for sure.
I like this. What's Babasala? Maybe I'm telling on myself.
Yeah.
It was a different one. Cockrell at Dawn. Oh, okay.
There was that Behind the Clouds.
Yes, Behind the Clouds. I remember the song
that was actually pretty good.
The Cloud, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Behind the Clouds. I remember that, but I don't remember the show.
I as well. I don't remember exactly what happened. But it must have been popular if we all remember the name.
Yeah, it used to come on Thursday night. I remember. Thursday evening. Yeah, and it was, I enjoyed it. But you're right, popular. I absolutely don't remember what it was about. I know there was this girl, I think Richard Mofe-Damujin was in that too, right?
I feel like he was.
Because I had a crush on him. I still do.
As well.
But yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to our next video now.
Okay, so we are talking about, now is this, I'm not sure if this is still on slideshow, but what has Npag been doing in the time that it's been created? As you know, we're established October of 2019. As long as they said, this really was born out of AMPA as a way to push our advocacy agenda. And so one of the things that we've really been working on, understanding that good governance requires credible leaders who are accountable to the people. So the electoral reform bill was something that was really at the forefront of our advocacy efforts. And as you all know, Mr. President Buhari signed the bill yesterday, which was very exciting for all of the civic society organizations that have been working in this space. And what does this really do? I mean, it helps sort of help INEC get funds earlier so they can provide logistics for a smooth sailing election. Hopefully this materializes, but now they have to get their funds at least a year before election date. It gives them more control as to how to arbitrate the discrepancies with people arguing that, well, they didn't win the election or they won the election. So it gives them more power in that regard. And most importantly, it allows for transparency of election results, as these results are now going to be transmitted mostly electronically. So a big win for sure for Nigerians, I think, and for the organizations that really work together to make this happen, but working from within the Nigerian space, and for us outside of Nigeria, engaging our policy leaders here to put pressure, external pressure. So great win. We're super excited about that. And obviously there's still more work to do, as now Nigerians really have to go out and vote, really. So that's one thing. Currently in Abia State, we are engaged in a ready to vote movement. This is in collaboration with other organizations like the African Primary Healthcare Foundation, the Organization for Impact and Reform, 100 Igbos, and we're actually working in collaboration with INEC as well, trying to get people who've had their online registration get their biometric data. As you know, in Nigeria, it's a two-step process to getting your permanent voter's card. So we're super excited about this. This is a pilot for us. Should this materialize the way we want it to, we would plan to go to other strategic states within the country. So obviously the biggest thing, for most of our countrymen in rural areas, access to clean water continues to be a major source of morbidity and mortality. We got introduced to Alade community in Benue State in 2019, I think. Susan, correct me if I'm wrong, and have really over the course of the years developed a relationship with this community. So this, can you see my pointer? My mouse? Okay. Anyways, you can see the before.
Yes,
so this is the water source for this community before we met them. So you can imagine, and this was a pond that would dry up during the dry season. Kids missing school because they have to travel long distances to go get water. And I think this is common in most rural communities of the country. But we sort of understanding the health impact of not having access to clean water and the economic impact, we partnered with Shift Nigeria in this endeavor and have built boreholes in this community, providing access to clean water to this community and decreasing the number of waterborne diseases that was prevalent in this community. So something that we're very proud of and we'll continue to work on. We are expanding beyond Alade community, again, in partnership with Shift to other communities within Benue State, but also to Edo State, Lagos, and Kaduna. Sorry. Okay. All right, and actually in our presence is a presidential aspirant from Nigeria. Thank you for staying up so late, Mr. Chukwuka Monye, to talk with us. But I'm gonna play, I was really touched by this video of him that I saw. So I'm gonna play that video and then have him speak. So.
I've been involved in, running some healthcare
technology is
institutions. The truth is,
okay.
I've been involved in, running some healthcare institutions. The truth is, a human being is a human being. Human beings like good things. Yes. If you're a medical doctor, you've been well trained, and you're in an institution that doesn't value your input, you're hustling or you're struggling in Nigeria, and then you hear that I have an option to be paid £10,000 a month. Will you consider it? Exactly. So a lot of the challenges that you're facing in the health system, it's systemic and they are multidimensional. People prefer to stay in Nigeria, I can tell you for free. But how many institutions are focused on building operations of best practice? Compromise is the order of the day in the health system. People are just managing. They tell you, I beg, I can't come and kill myself. So they compromise here and there and compromise with people's lives and waiting their time for the day they get that opportunity to jump out. If you create the right system, they'll cherish it. People want to be identified with quality. And trust me, when people are recognized for their performance and know that there are implications when they do not perform, you see that things start to shape up. Remember that where they're going to, whether it's the UK or wherever, they have very, very sound systems and they align. So the question is, are we able to design systems that people can abide by? That's the real gap here.
All right, so I've got a pleasure to interact with Mr. Monye on several occasions. He grew up in Nigeria, studied abroad, University of Florida, and then was in the UK at Oxford, and then went back to Nigeria to start this consulting firm, which he managed for over 15 years. I think he just stepped down now in view of running for the presidency. Has worked in the healthcare space in Nigeria, helping healthcare systems improve their performance. So with no further ado, I introduce Mr. Chukwuka Monye.
Thank you, Dr. Yori. How is everybody?
Good.
Doing well. Roll well, welcome.
Thank you. So slight correction, out of, to be a Gator is nice, but it's actually Warner University in Florida, in Central Florida. I already saw someone saying go Gators, but not quite. Yeah, so it's good to be here. And I'm a bit conflicted because I'm quite passionate and interested in healthcare. And I can also talk about Nigeria as a whole as an aspirant. But maybe I'll first of all talk about, why this journey, and then talk a little bit about healthcare, if that works. Yeah. So I started, please.
I think you're coming in and out.
Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, how many minutes do I have, please?
About 10, 20 minutes.
Okay.
But 10 minutes to talk and then we can open up for Q&A.
Fine. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about why, presidency. I've been, I went to university in the US, and I've been back in Nigeria since 2002, so just about 20 years. And I've been in the management consulting space for as long as the 20 years. providing services to both public sector and private sector clients. Now, I've seen, I'm happy. It's been a very fulfilling, career so far, just because it's exciting when you're able to see a lot of, turn around from, bad to better. And then I've also opportunity to mentor people. Today there are quite a number of mentees that I see playing significant roles, in different, sectors in Nigeria. But all that said, part of one of the things that got me interested into playing in a bigger role is that each time I worked with clients and I worked with individuals, it just seemed like it was extra difficult, extra hard. So yes, it's good that we're able to sort of turn things around, but the circumstances just seemed quite complex. Having worked in the US and also been exposed to operations working in the UK, I was just like, things just seem to be extra difficult. I was involved in the turnaround, or let me say the Tara. I was involved in Eco Hospital at some point as well, amongst many other, projects, over 400 projects, to be precise, in the 20 years. And sometimes it can be so successful, but you step out, you've built the systems, and 6 months later, you're not exactly excited that you were involved in the project. Why? Because you can't recognize the project anymore. Not because you didn't put systems in place or hire the right people, but there are externalities that just make things extra difficult. And for me, I just felt like I got to a point at some, last year, when I told, after hearing it from a couple of friends that are investment bankers, own private equity funds focus on healthcare and different areas. And some of them have raised as much as $200 million, but the investors are saying, hey, don't deploy in Nigeria yet. Let's wait for the next few years. Let's just observe. So things just seem difficult at a standstill. And I said to myself, I'm not going to just not do anything about this. We're talking about poverty levels at the highest. We're talking about all sorts of metrics on another level. And yet we have people that are cutting away with money from the Nigerian treasury and doing all sorts with impunity. And I told myself that I wouldn't sleep well. As a matter of fact, I went through, because we're mostly medical doctors here. I would say something that would make you smile or be fascinated with. I was restless quite a bit for a few days at some point, middle of last year, and my wife thought it was because I needed to do my medicals. As a matter of fact, I couldn't sleep for 2 days or so. And she said, hey, you need to go check yourself. I said, I don't think it's a medical problem, and I think it was after I made the decision to go on this journey, to run for the president of Nigeria, that I got a bit of peace that maybe this is what I need to be doing now. And if nothing else, is to give it a shot, and ensure that I'm able to work with people that are like-minded to start this journey. I will say that it's been already rewarding, already fulfilling, because there are quite a number of people that tell me that my decision alone gives them hope. So even if it's just that, I'm happy that I've got started on this journey. But my intention is big, and it's bigger than just becoming president. It is that well, there are two things. Number one, that the political landscape changes for good, so that we're able to get the better Nigeria in our lifetime. And I think it's possible. I joined the political party just yesterday, and today, and the party is called ADC. They have other presidential aspirants, including Ayodele Favor, a lady called Joyce, and Professor Kingsley Moghalu. And there were quite a number of people that were just like, don't even go there because you know, this and that would happen. People were so pessimistic about it. People were skeptical. And I said, you guys keep forgetting that not one person can solve Nigeria's problem. As much as they are my competitors, as it were, I'm very keen on seeing how we can all work together to ensure that things shift. It's not going to be done by one person. I hosted all the aspirants for lunch earlier today, and I think it's been put in social media, and people are still skeptical that better be careful. I hope you covered your food. You don't know what they would have done to you. You know, this politics is a dirty game. And I said, wow, this is how much, you know, we've been conditioned to think that nothing good can come out of Nigeria. So I think with that, that's my introduction. But maybe before I stop, I'll talk about the vision, what the focus is, you know, for my team and I. The vision is really to focus on how we can restore the dignity of the average Nigerian and Nigeria as a country. Someone just sent me a message and said that they don't want to get me upset by sending me some videos of what Nigerians are going through in Ukraine, and was, you know, because now I'm getting all the problems, you know, almost like, and I'm telling people I'm not yet president, but any issue in Nigeria, trust me, I'm getting all sorts of updates. But the person was upset that we knew that this was coming, but yet we didn't do anything about it, you know, prior. You know, so I'm happy that I'm doing this. It's not going to be an easy road, and I'm happy to be talking to people in the medical sector. I'm also using the opportunity to say, please, 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 it is important that we all get involved. It is when the professional class gets involved to give direction to the rest that a country makes that progress. Not when we are all quiet. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Monnier. So we'll open the floor to questions. Please type your questions in the chat. I think Dr. Lalade is keeping track of that. So I guess while we're waiting for people to post their questions, there's a question here. Please tell us about your corporate experience.
Okay. So corporate experience, I worked at Solomon Smith Barney in the US before I moved back to Nigeria. And after I moved back, I worked as a management consultant for a few years until 2007, when I set up a company called CUC Consulting. That's the consulting company that Dr. Iyari talked about, and that's a company that it's done fairly well. It's received a lot of awards, and it's one of the most reputable operations management consultancies in the continent now. So it's something I'm thankful to God for. You know, And as I mentioned earlier, it serves clients across almost all sectors, in the oil and gas sector, retail, consumer goods, healthcare, just name it. We are the current operators of the specialist hospital. Also set up a diagnostic center in Asaba. I understand they're working on something now for Ogba in Lagos, a diagnostic center. They're at the early stages of setting that up. So there's a very strong passion for healthcare. Also because of certain personal experiences. I lost a few children when I was, proven to be a diehard Nigerian, and tried to have my kids early in Nigeria. And the first attempt to do it outside Nigeria was just a breeze. I had my two kids in LA by Dr. Padua. No issues at all. So these are just the issues. And for me, I just knew that I had to do quite a number of things to help the system.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much. There are a few more questions that have come through. So this is from Dr. Chi. And her question is, how do you intend to engage the professionals in Nigeria? It seems that they have the most apathy and vote the least, and they have more voting power than professionals in the diaspora. So how would you bring this group of people along?
The professionals?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a challenge, right? As a matter of fact, I'm in Asaba as we speak, and I've lived here for about 5 years. And even when I started this journey, the intention was to, first of all, engage the professional class. So I started in Lagos, and almost everybody said, hey, don't even bother. It makes no sense. Don't waste your time. I almost for a second, changed my mind, because my thinking was, if the professional class don't get in, there's no hope. But every time I engaged others, especially in the field, on the ground, the masses, and the younger generation, I'm talking of 35 and under, you can tell there's genuine helplessness and hopelessness, and they want a solution. Unfortunately, or let me say fortunately, they don't have a lot of the context and background that those that are older in the professional class have. When you speak with those in the professional class, many of them say the reason why they don't believe is they've seen it all. They feel they experienced it when it was a bit decent to how it deteriorated. So there is that trust factor. The trust deficit is so high. On the other hand, the younger generation is saying, hey, there's nothing to lose. Let's just go for it. It's the same thing with NSAS. There's nothing to lose. So I'm dealing with different segments of the society. I am experiencing some conversion. I mean, when I started, most people said, okay, this guy is solving for ministerial position or is trying to do something. And I think we're gradually getting more people saying, okay, I think he's for real. He's been at this already for a couple of weeks. We've had thousands of volunteers sign up. Other politicians and other parties are reaching out. They're beginning to see that, okay, there might be something here. So in terms of this professional class, there's nothing more, you can't do more than just continuous engagement, okay? Because they are not used to this. When I have any Zoom call, you can tell that the way the questions come, they're it's almost like they're happy that they can ask, they can vent. Many times it's like they're venting, to be honest, because I've had calls where people even start raising their voices at me. And I said, and I understand that it's not because it's me, it's just, there's just frustration, right? So these are just the real issues, and it just shows how much we've also been affected, I would say psychologically and mentally, by the lack of decent leadership over a long period of time. I get on radio interviews, similar reactions. So I think it's continuous engagement, it's continuous interactions. Having sessions like this where people can ask you questions and you can respond. I remember the last call I had where someone kept asking me questions and the person expressed a lot of frustration and was raising their voices. And the person and the moderator said, guys, I don't remember you ever having a session with any of the current leaders, let alone ask them questions. Now someone is here and offering himself and you want to tear him apart, but it's just because they've not had, it's frustration. So it's continuous engagement. And I'm seeing some positive, I guess, outcomes from these interactions.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. So someone wanted to know what sort of equipment you have in your diagnostic center.
Okay. Yes, so we have a lot of imaging, CT scans. So it's diagnostic and full lab services. We've also got a dialysis function there as well, because it's something that is lacking in this part. So we thought it was necessary to put that in. So your classic radiology equipment, from X-rays, CT scans, no MRI. We had to choose one. Here you have to, because of affordability, you can't really afford to put everything that you would love to, because you still need to ensure that it's a profitable venture. So it's going to be launched in February. It's going to be launched in March. We're just waiting for all the final approvals and licenses, which, by the way, that's also an ordeal by itself, just securing some of these licenses. All the equipment came in last year, but we're still in the process of getting approvals. So these are parts of the issues and the things you deal with in Nigeria.
All right, somebody wanted to know about your vision for Nigeria. I think you mentioned that earlier, but maybe
yes. Well, maybe I should just maybe expand it a little bit. So
yeah.
So yes,
and your experience in international policy.
Fine. So I would say that to restore the dignity of the average Nigerian. Now, what does it mean? I think ultimately the focus is, how can we make people human again? When someone cannot afford decent healthcare, they cannot afford decent education, I feel that human being is not complete. If everybody has to rely on somebody for a meal a day, it's not a good place to be. It's incredible the way people respond to me when I go on conferences, seminars here in the region. People are excited. They shout, "Your Excellency," they're excited. "Oh, you're my hero, you're my mentor." But many of them are not shouting mentor because of the inspiration. They are waiting for you at the door when you're done, because they still need 1,000 naira to go home from that venue. It's a crisis. So for me, it's how do we address this issue of poverty, of unemployment, and I've thought about it that because we've not approached policy making from a systems thinking perspective, a lot of times it doesn't work. So a lot of our politicians have come and said, and make promises of, we'll create 10 million jobs. But the 10 million jobs cannot come if you haven't addressed certain, fundamental things. And what are those things? And that's what I guess the pillars of the vision are built around. Number one is security. How do we address the insecurity in the land? From two perspectives, physical security and social security. We must begin to look at it, because I cannot tell some of you here to come into Nigeria and come and make investments if there's no security. The second pillar is reforming some of the, let me say, I call them fundamental institutions, and what are some of those that will be my priorities? The justice, the law enforcement is one of them. The healthcare is also another, and education. Those are critical for me. Education, if we think that Nigeria is in a bad place today, just think for a minute what it would look like 10 years from now with the number of people that are out of school today. One in 5 of the out of school children in the world are Nigerians. That's an alarming statistics. So if we think things are bad now, and because people are idle, uneducated, we're getting all sorts of, insecurity issues, just wait for 10 years from now and just imagine what it would look like. So in my mind, and as we see it as a team, these are things that need to be dealt with. I've interacted with quite a number of foreign, companies that want to come into Nigeria. There are many saying, we will come in, but we're not coming in when it's a typical politician. That you guys need a technocrat who understands who understands transformation. And if we see that, we're coming in. And so those are really the 3 pillars. So it's security, institutional reforms, and poverty alleviation and job creation.
Thank you. So I'll take one more question, then I'll ask a question. So this is from Dr. Bola. His question is, how do you get involved without getting engaged? Please explain this in light of your displeasure about your collaborator not wanting to invest in Nigeria, and with reference to the world involvement in Ukraine. Finally, there was a town hall meeting.
Sorry,
yesterday.
I didn't understand that question.
Yeah, so he's asking how, this in light of. So how do you get involved without getting engaged? Please explain this in light of your displeasure about your collaborator. I'm not sure what that is. So maybe Dr. Bola, if you're here, maybe you can.
Yeah, maybe you can ask.
Yeah.
Can you speak to clarify, please?
Yeah. Let's see, I don't see, oh, there he is. Dr. Bola, you can unmute.
Yes, I just did. Thank you so much, our moderator. Thank you so much, Dr. Yori. And thank you, Mr. Moy. My question is an offshoot of your earlier statement that everyone should get involved in any form of shape in political dispensation. So then I ask you a question. How do you get involved without getting engaged? And I ask it in the light of also what's going on in Ukraine, where we have the entire world getting involved, but hey, we are not going to commit troops or anything. My second part of my question was also based on something that happened just less than 24 hours ago, which was we had a town hall meeting here in the US, in New York, from the consulate, and there was interruption of the town hall meeting for the entire almost 2 hours by members who are sympathetic to Biafra Nation, constantly playing the music and interrupting, even though there were almost 200 people online and the meeting had to be rescheduled. So how do you get involved without getting engaged?
Okay. So I want to say something here about getting involved, and there are different levels of involvement. Okay. And what I have seen is that people are at different levels of, will I say, trust and comfort with this conversation around getting involved. There are some people that are saying they're not even interested in associating with Nigeria. They're tired. I remember just getting into an Uber in London, and the Uber driver said that he doesn't even want to be called Nigerian anymore. That's how, so you can't even talk to that kind of person about getting involved. There are those that are saying, and I've interacted with them, even on this journey. I have quite a number of friends. My undergrad was in the US. I also went to Harvard afterwards. And many of them are saying, I'm fine with just donating and supporting because I'm not yet convinced that, things will turn out better. But you now have those that are saying, I want to do more than just send money. I want to do more. Can I join your policy team? So when people typically ask me, what can I do for you? It's difficult to be specific because I want you to be part of it one way or the other. I want you to also be comfortable with being part of it, right? And there's a spectrum from actually doing physical things on the ground with me to, supporting me with resources to, there's a range and they're all welcome, So I would say engagement will be good, but it's important for people to get involved in, it's more important that they get involved in a manner that they're comfortable with. I don't know if that helps, Doctor, with that question.
Mr. Moy.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moy. And that's why I linked it to what's happening in Ukraine. We have the entire world getting involved, but nobody is getting engaged. Ukraine has to fight for itself. So if we look back in your journey with what you have to do now, will you prefer this same involvement, meaning that it's fluid without getting people engaged in being part of your journey, meaning that you want people to sit at the fence and not doing anything, whether you are being crucified or you are being threatened because of the political landscape or because they're just, okay, let me just send money to you and that's it, and that's enough.
Well, so my preference is obviously that people get engaged. But the reason why I'm saying it's important to appreciate where everybody is at is one must understand that it takes a lot for some than others. This thing is, it's almost like a personal thing, I would say this. If not because I've made a decision and I'm resolute about this journey, after the first week, I would have quit. Why? Because I know the amount of financial resources required for this. And tons of people made commitments. We're with you, man. Let's go. Finally. We just want you to announce officially, and then we'll know you're serious, and then we'll begin to redeem our pledges. After making that announcement, oh, we just want you to announce party, so you can tell that it's not really, people are struggling. It's a process because some are skeptical that, hey, can you really stand against some of these guys? So there are so many factors that you have to consider. So of course, I would love you to engage. I would love, you need the numbers to have the maximum impact. It's the reality. But we're coming from a very, very difficult place, and it's taking people longer than I expected to get to that point of engaging. I think the case of Ukraine is slightly different because of all the diplomatic of the diplomatic context. It's slightly different, but I understand what you're trying to say, and engagement would be ideal. But I would say whatever you can get will be a good start.
Well, thank
Madam
you very
Moderator,
much.
just one last comment, please.
Okay.
I just want, this is just my opinion and my advice to Mr. Moy. It is politics, it's not a la carte. And a la carte, that's when you give people options, but when it's politics, it's not a la carte. So that's just my experience. And that's why I'm asking about getting involvement and engagement, two different things. Thank you, sir.
I would like to work with you, and I'm happy to take this offline, and anyone else that is interested. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We know it's quite late. Thanks for staying up to talk to us. That's it for your session. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
It was nice being here.
Good night.
Okay, then. Bye.
All righty then.
That was such a spirited conversation. It was great hearing from, one of our presidential aspirants. There's still a lot of questions in the chat. Feel free to, if Mr. Moyer is still available, feel free to send in chat messages and see maybe you can connect and have your questions answered. But just in the interest of time, we wanted to move on to a little bit of the fun part. So we thought, why not do a quiz type situation? What do you guys think about that? So I will, are you still sharing? Okay, I'll share my screen.
Oh yeah.
Are you done?
You can share.
Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second. All right, let's try this one more time. All right, so if you have your phone or maybe another computer, do you guys hear that? Is it low? Just go ahead and go to this website, www.kahoot.it, Kahoots. And when you get to the website, put in the pin 2808526. If you're on your laptop, you can maybe open another browser, do it on there, or if you do it on your phone. And we're just gonna wait for a few people to come on. Okay, I see Mo is here, Chi is here, Lola is here. Welcome Kelechi, Yure. And this is a competition, okay guys? So whoever wins is gonna get a little swag bag in the mail. So let's bring our Type A personalities out in center. Super Bowler, okay. I'll give about, we have about 30 people on the line, so we need more people here. Let's see. Hey, Dr. Susan. Hi, ST. Hi, Ellen. Hello, Aya. Hi, baby, BB. Hi, Ngozi. Hi, Ify. So we have about 14. You think, wait 1 more minute, or how about people put in the chat if you're still trying to figure it out? Because we don't want to leave people hanging. Do we have anybody having issues in the chat, or are we good to go? What do you think, Dr. James?
I think, let's see. So there are about how many? I don't know if anyone else is having.
So far, and we have about almost 30 I saw initially online.
Yeah. Is anyone else? I guess maybe I can. Just give maybe a minute.
Okay. Give it about a minute to see if anybody else will join. I think people are kind of scared. They're scared we're going to win.
Yeah. All right, I guess we could start.
Okay, Anjay, welcome.
Tosi.
Welcome, Ngozi. All right, should I start?
Yep.
Let's go. Okay, these are the lucky few. Don't get jealous when they get their swags in the mail, okay? All right, let's start. So, the chicken and waffles half and half. Welcome to Cocktails and Connects. So we're gonna have a series of questions. On the place you log in, this is the first question. Sorry, I should have given the instruction. Who's the father of supercomputing? And is ranked number 1. So on the other place where you logged in, where your name is, go ahead and click the corresponding
supercomputing and is ranked
column that goes with this. Whoever is talking, you may want to mute so people don't steal your answer.
It was Philip Npag'S.
Yes, Philip Npag'S. So he apparently was one of the ones who wrote the code for computing and also the internet, from what I understood. So he is a Nigerian man. So you can imagine if he lived in Nigeria, or if he was in Nigeria, all the things that he could have done back home, right? So we need to get all this beautiful brain to help our country. So
Lola, I think we need to explain the rules again, because not a lot of people answer that question. I think there were only 5 people that responded. So okay. Maybe just
So where you logged in with your phone, you're only going to see the color. And on the screen, the Zoom screen, you're going to see the questions, the shared questions. So whatever you think the answer is, if you're logged in on your phone or the other browser, you answered there, and you have about 10 to 20 seconds, depending on the question, to answer it. The pictures are supposed to be hints, but the scorecard goes based on how fast you answer it and if you answer it correct. Is that helpful?
So we can either answer on our phone if we're logged in on our phone, or the computer if we're logged in on the computer.
Yeah, wherever you're logged in and where you put your nickname on, that's where you need to answer on. So where the color boxes are. Is that helpful? Okay. Are we ready for the next question?
Can we start all over again, please?
No, it's okay. It's only just one question.
Did not give us the ground rule when we started, so if we can start all over again.
Oh, if we start all over again, we'll have to put a new code. So that's why we can't. So it's okay.
Maybe we'll give bonus point at the end.
We'll give a bonus point. Yes, we'll give a bonus point. So let's scrap the first question. Is that fair? All right, so are we ready, everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You could blame Lola for that one. All right, one of the biggest problems facing Nigerian healthcare is what? I could hear people say it should be all of the above.
Yeah, so did we have 80 seconds for that one?
Yeah, I think we had 60 seconds because we had the video initially.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, it's okay. It'll give them time to change their answers.
I'm changing to the wrong one now.
Let's see what's in the chat. It should be all of the above, exactly. All right. So yes, the answer is failure in governance. The reason why we picked this as the answer is because we believe if there's adequate governance, it would be able to address low quality health workers. It'll be able to avoid, talk about the light issue, address the not enough health worker issue. And with that in mind, I want to play a video for us briefly that kind of talks about this.
Most Nigerians can't afford healthcare. They can't afford healthcare
you guys hear
predominantly
me?
because there is
Can you
no
hear
effective national healthcare
Thank you.
scheme, it's called. National health insurance is in its infancy. What we have today is about 3% of the population is covered by health insurance. And because of that, most people can't afford it to a point whereby more than 70% of Nigerian healthcare spend is out of pocket. So that demonstrates, first of all, a lack of prioritization. So secondly, for us to reverse this, to get to your specific question, it can be done if we address the fundamentals. There needs to be a deliberate infusion of capital from the government as well as the private sector in a coordinated manner, not in a reactive or haphazard manner, to support the health industry.
Yay. So that was Dr. Yele Aluko, AMPA member. Very eloquent in his answer. So let's see how we're doing. NJ is winning right now, but we'll say Mo. It's between Mo and NJ right now.
Yeah, because I really don't count. I don't even know why I logged on.
Number 3, according to World Health Organization, the Nigerian healthcare system ranks among the ranks number blank of 191 country. What number do we rank in our healthcare system in Nigeria? So it's about 10 seconds. Wow. Someone said 191. Yes, interestingly, I was actually shocked we were that low. Maybe I just didn't realize how dire our healthcare system is, but this is one of the reasons why Npag exists. We really need to move that number up, especially when majority of the best physicians in the US, in England are Nigerian. There's no reason why our healthcare system should be 187. So let's see where we're at. Okay, go ahead, Chi. Moving on up.
Ooh, NJ's on fire.
Okay. What is the name of the Nigerian doctor involved in the Pfizer trial for the COVID-19 vaccine? Yes, Dr. Someone said Dr. Biodogubo. Yes, or 3 people did. Dr. Oyema Ogwago. And this was, you know, of course, we know how amazing Nigerians are. You can imagine if that brain was in Nigeria doing the same thing for our people back home. All right, so let's see where we're at. Next question, are we ready? What is the rate of doctors to people in Nigeria? Like how many doctors do we have per 10,000 population? Unfortunately, this is quite horrible. And I'm very sad to say that that number continues to get worse every day as more physicians leave the country. Question, oh, let's see. Okay, Adelby, go ahead, girl. Question number 6. What's the percentage of Nigeria's GDP spent on healthcare? And again, we know our country very well. This is actually quite not cool. Let me, for lack of, but Dr. Gelialuko was so eloquent when he was talking about this as well that I thought we watched this.
Insightful observer. It is clear to any insightful observer that healthcare is not a priority in Nigeria by the leaders for the people. It is not a national priority. That is not an opinion, that is a fact. And I will tell you why I say that. The amount of Nigeria's revenue, Nigeria's GDP, that is allocated to healthcare is about 4% as of 2020. Prior to that, it was about 3.8%. It's risen marginally. It lags way behind international standards, but we must acknowledge that the international standards are relevant to westernized countries. But Nigeria's allocation to the health industry per GDP lags behind low-income countries and most of African countries. So it is an anathema if Nigeria, with its vastness of resources and size, does not devote adequate financial resources to enable the health of its people. And the health of our people, the human capital, should be the priority of any government.
So we're hoping that with good governance, this can be a priority of the next government or the government going forward. So Adalby, you gonna let Chi take over? Come on now, let's get it. I'm trying to start a fight here. Next question. What country has the best jollof rice? I mean, I had to put this there. It's no real quiz if we don't ask this question, and we know the answer.
I'd say the US.
Of course, it's Nigeria. Okay, the person who said Senegal, you are wrong. Senegal actually created jollof rice. Jollof rice was created by the Wolof people of Senegal. But as you know, in Nigeria, even if we don't invent it, we perfect it. Okay, so yes, it's Nigeria. All right. Yes, Adobe was like, no, ma'am, I'm not letting Chi take over. She's back up. And let's see who's still in. NJ's on number 1 still. So NJ, Adobe's at your tail. So since February 16, 2022, How many Abia State residents are registered to vote through Ready to Vote initiative? And Dr. James talked about this briefly in the beginning. So if you were listening, you would know the answer to this. $903. We wish it was 10,000. We're getting there. We're getting there.
And Mama, if I can just expand on this a little bit
Go
more
ahead,
too.
of course.
And we're gonna see a video soon, but the neat thing about this initiative actually is that we're incorporating health screening with voter registration. We know that there's a significant burden of hypertension in Nigeria, with lots of young people dying from end-stage renal disease. Because in Nigeria, if you have end-stage renal disease that requires renal replacement, is a death sentence. The statistics is over 95% mortality within 6 months of diagnosis. And I've been personally affected by this with cousins, friends. So what we're doing is, we're trying to educate people that, okay, well, you have to, get screening for the blood pressure, but you also have to engage in, politics, because the people that come into power determine your daily living in terms of what sort of healthcare you have, or general things like Monye talked about, education, access to basic things. So I'm really excited about this project actually, and even with the electoral reform bill passing, where now we can tell these people that we're encouraging to vote that their vote really will count, because there's that transparency in the way that results are going to be transmitted. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to ensure that the bill that was signed into law is implemented. But this is a project that is really a collaboration of several diaspora organizations and local entities in Nigeria to make this happen. So. And this is a video actually of just people coming in, they're getting blood pressure screening, they're getting their online registration, and then INEC officials are there doing the biometrics.
I hope this kind of shows you guys that, a lot of people really ask, how can I help in Nigeria? How can I help in Nigeria? This shows you guys a lot of times just by us, someone changed your vote. Let me go next. So just by us being involved, even as physicians, we can still bring what we're good at to the table and still be able to implement and make changes in Nigeria. So we're very, very, very excited about this initiative, and it's still ongoing on different capacity. So I'm sorry, Adele B. Mo is like, I'm taking over from both Chi and Adele B. And NJ
But
still
if he's coming up, four correct answers in a row.
Okay. All right, number 9. Over 70% of healthcare spending in Nigeria is by NGOs, government-sponsored, out-of-pocket, or fundraised. Out-of-pocket. I wasn't surprised it was a lot, but I was surprised it was that much, like 70%. So our hope is there's some insurance scheme going on, but it definitely needs to be better. So let's see. Okay, everybody's still holding their spot. Number 10. In 2014, which doctor stopped a major outbreak of Ebola in Nigeria, and it essentially cost her life? There's been a movie about her.
Oh no, we can't see her full face. Can only see her.
What happened with that? Yay, awesome. And we're so glad. Amazing.
I especially like the Dr. Victor OK option.
Right? We're glad that doctors like Dr. Stella Adadeva were in Nigeria. Can you imagine if she was part of the brain drain? Like how many more people would have passed away? So, so we're staying at our spot. Okay, let's see. How many percent of registered Nigerian doctors practice abroad? Or what percent should I say? What percent of registered? And these are not even counting Nigerian Americans, right? Like us. We're talking about people who trained in Nigeria and now practice abroad. 60%. Like, can you imagine? About 60% of Nigerians who trained in Nigeria are practicing abroad. So we need to reverse that brain drain. But like Mr. Monnier said, if there's no good security, if there's no good governance, it's hard. Even for people who really do want to go back to Nigeria, to really say, okay, I'm going to go back home. Okay, Adelby is coming for the win. Should we? It's going to play a video, but that's okay. I'll play it after this. The Npag partner will Shift Nigeria to sponsor the creation of 2 boreholes in which community in Benue State. We also talked about this earlier if you're here at the beginning of our program. Aliyah Day community. You want to talk a little bit about that one too, Yuri?
Oh, sure. Yeah, just that so actually what I didn't mention earlier was that through our partnership with Shift and this engagement, Shift Nigeria was able to register 1,000 people to vote in preparation for 2023. So a lot of the things that we do really in Nigeria, it's, to address basic necessities, but also to really educate individuals in Nigeria why it is important to vote. And we understand that, it's for the sort of the people who are doing better, it's not really a priority, but we're going to be targeting those populations too. But just being able to even provide these communities with basic things like water, and then educating them on what it means to be governed. And, not just, you can take the bag of rice that comes during election time, but you still have to know that your power is in your vote to demand for things that would really bring about sustainable solutions. So this is also something that we're super excited about, and we're planning to, with the success that we've had in the Allied community, planning to move to other communities within Benue State, but also to other states. So for example, we've adopted the Ogbonna Primary Healthcare Center, which is in Edo State, where there's this primary healthcare center that's just been abandoned for a while. And a big issue for this health center is access to clean water. They have to sort of buy water monthly, and the way they use the water is extremely rationed because of, just funding and availability really. And we're also looking to, with our partner Shift, to work in communities in Lagos State and Kaduna State, which is in the north.
Yes, we're really excited about that. Adelby's holding her place.
This is why it's important, your membership dues. Encourage your friends to donate, to pay a membership fee, to sponsor any one of our projects. And we'll be sharing our email, our website address later on. But please do encourage your friends to really participate in Npag.
So after the creation of the bottles, okay, good job. Yes, it reduced from 10 patients to 2 patients weekly, and it has continued to improve. She is gone for the lead. Let's go. Number 14. What is the name of the Nigerian surgeon who took a pay cut to perform 3 operations because he just wanted to go back home and help? And we put this question in there because a lot of Nigerians, especially in the US, we always want to go home and help. But one of the main things that always prevents us from going home, again, is a security, it's a health issue. What if something happens to us? Awesome. A lot of people knew this, Dr. Olawale Suleiman.
Ooh, look at Chi, she's up there.
I know, Chi's back. My kids. Which of these protests did Npag donate significantly to in 2020? I think it's Ghana Must Go. What do you think?
I don't think we were born during Ghana Must Go movement, Lola.
I was. I don't know how to be. I was.
I don't know about significantly. I mean, we gave some, but it's not like we had $1 million that we're given.
Yeah. All right. The horses of the Nigerian coat of arms stands for what? Dignity.
Only one person got that. Because you think horse, you think strength, right?
Right, that's
the most logical.
I actually have to go research and really make sure we got this right. Yes, it actually does mean dignity. And we really want to restore the dignity of our country. We want Nigeria to live up back to, we're called the Giant of Africa. We really want to be the Giant of Africa again.
And I especially Monier's, I don't know if you want to call it a slogan or whatever, is really to restore the dignity of the average Nigerian. I think that's deep.
There was no
how you do that is a different story, but
yeah. Who is the current Minister of Health in Nigeria? I think it's Dr. Yuri Jones.
I don't know, that picture looks a little different to me.
Honorable Dr. Osage Emmanuel Kihanire. I'm not sure if I pronounced that, but 5 people got it. Congrats. Let's see if we have any movement. No movement in the leaderboard. Okay. Go Chi. The first Nigerian scientist to join NASA. Who was it?
Dr. Susan Odionwe.
Yes, Dr. Faji Maina. So many brainiacs. We really wanted it to be Dr. Edwinwe, but it was Dr. Maina. All right. So this is our last question. So guys, get ready, okay? Because whoever wins this round will get the swag. We think the first, second, and third will get a little thing in the middle, right, Dr. James?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are we ready? All right, let's go. What is the best way to help the Nigerian healthcare system? as physicians in the US right now, what is the best way? Give up, tweet about it, japa, or join Npag? Join Npag. Good job, guys. Yes. So if anything we've told you throughout this program today is that we are working really, really hard because we believe in the healthcare in Nigeria. We believe that Nigeria will be great again. And we believe that with good governance, we can achieve the health system that we want in Nigeria. So before we go to the podium, I like to I thought this last video gave like a nice summary of what we're about.
I'm hopeful that any potential leader who is going to come through, it's not just only going to be the president, it's going to be everybody, legislators. They will understand this conversation, that they all have a role to play. So I'm an optimist, but I can assure them, if you work on that, you have the diaspora healthcare who are going to give you the sole backing to make sure we can transfer that wealth of knowledge, the skills. We have them. The answers are there. You have the stories all the time about what the Nigerian healthcare workers are doing abroad. So we have them.
True long-standing change happens at the policy level. So what am I talking about? We've had examples from medicine, business, travel, etc. But what am I really talking about? I'm talking about Nigerians registering to vote and voting for people that have the capacity to bring about positive change, despite whatever perceived obstacles that there might be.
Yes, so let me come out of this. Okay, so let's go to the podium and see how we're doing. Number 3, Adele B. Congratulations, Adele B. Number 2, NJ. And number 1, Chi. Congratulations. Thank you guys for playing. And our runner-ups were Mo and Ify. So Chi, Adele B, and NJ, please, Goodness, do you mind sending them a message? If Goodness is still there, that way we could get their contact information and send them a little swag gift for participating today.
Yay!
Congratulations. All right, so if you guys want to connect with each other, right?
Well, we didn't talk about our cocktails. I mean,
oh yeah,
we spent time making cocktail, or like
okay,
if you're like me, just going to the store and buying something. But we should give people a chance to, and maybe any questions actually that you might have about Npag or how to get involved. Obviously, things are going to be in the chat. If you let me share.
So please ask all your questions about Npag. Please send it to the chat. We'll love to answer questions. If you see other people in the group who want to connect with them, please connect.
But yeah, but I'm interested in cocktails that I can start. So like I said, I went to my local Harris Theater at about 3 or 4 o'clock this evening, and I like pomegranate. So they had this pomegranate mixer. And I mixed the pomegranate mixer with, I think it was 1-to-1 with a rum. And I actually had to buy an ice shaker so I could mix it. I forgot the line, but it still tastes pretty good. I saw she had a glass up. So Chi, do you want to tell us about
well,
yours?
I'm lazy. I'm just sipping Prosecco. I didn't make anything. But I like your idea. I might use that in the future.
I can tell you about mine. So earlier I had a passion fruit mixed with mint and orange, spiked with bubbly sparkling water. So I had a mocktail.
Oh, nice. How about Dr. Bala? He's next on my list here. Dr. Bola, we can't see your face. If you're talking, you're muted. Okay, maybe we'll come back to him. How about Dr. Thompson? You're muted.
Oh, no, didn't make anything. I'm sorry. Just had a glass of water.
Water is good. I have my water bottle down there too. How about Dr. Well, Dr. Mama is at work, so she shouldn't really have anything. Right, Dr. Mama? You're muted. How about Dr. AK? What do you have? Oh, go ahead. I think.
Sorry, no, I did. I just had a glass of wine that I had in my fridge. I didn't mix anything.
Okay, awesome. How about Dr. AK?
Agua from Costco.
Look at all you healthy people, huh? What is this?
Agua.
Saturday night. What are you doing?
Before we move on, I just want to let you guys know the link is in the chat, www.npagroup.org. Go ahead and click on there. That way you can either register if you've never registered with us, and that way you can join our organization. Every little amount you contribute helps. And if you want to be involved, we'll love for you to be involved. And if you were part of Npag last year, you haven't paid your dues this year, go ahead and also click that link and also pay your due. Back to you, Dr. James.
Thank you. And for those who are wondering, the membership fee for physicians is $200 a year or $18 a month, if you rather do it that way. If you're a non-physician, it's $100 a year or $10 a month.
That's
alrighty.
For Starbucks coffee.
Yeah. But you know, there are several initiatives on the website. You can read more about them. Actually, there's a lot of information on the website. Maybe I should actually put it up too. So you can, if there's a particular initiative you want to sponsor, like our clean water. We didn't really talk about our Save a Life plan, which is our pre-hospital plan, which is our plan to improve pre-hospital care following road traffic accidents. We're still in the process of finalizing a memorandum of understanding with the Federal Ministry of Health. But all of this stuff are listed on the website for you to read. And you know, if any one of those tickle your fancy, please sponsor. So the next person here is Goodness. Goodness, what did you make? Goodness is our able administrative assistant. She lives in Lagos and she is up late. Goodness, are you there?
I think Goodness fell asleep.
Sure. Okay, how about Dr. Mobolaji, anesthesiology? What do you have?
I am drinking water. I didn't make anything.
That's nice.
But I liked the recipes that were on the website, so I will try them someday.
Okay, great, awesome. How about Dr. Ayo Makinde? Still recovering from the Rams winning, but that's okay. I guess they deserved it.
Yes, we deserve it and we did it. Thank you. Well, I have a Bai antioxidant infusion. So it's a Bai brand drink that you can get from any store.
Okay. Okay, so what is it called?
It's BAI. That's the brand.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so they have the antioxidant infusion, which is Ipanema pomegranate mix.
Okay. So I might like that. I like pomegranate.
Okay, so you can try.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not alcoholic.
Well, that's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you know, it's been a stressful week. So I look forward to coming home sometimes and having a shot of cognac here or there after dealing with people at work. But you know, Not that I'm admitting to anything, but.
And then dealing with Putin as well. That's stressful.
And dealing with Putin, exactly. That's a different story. Yes, Putin is a different story for sure. How about Dr. Ngozi Oswagu? Hi, Dr. Oswagu. Longest time.
I know, longest time. Thank you for putting this together. I don't know if I can show my video, but I don't know what's happening.
We just saw you and then you disappeared.
Okay, well, thank you. This is cranberry and sparkling water.
Awesome. So Dr. Oswagu is actually, she's in Ohio. She is a OBGYN, and she has a really nice book actually that I think the first one was published in 2018, right? I remember you giving me a copy that I'm saving for my daughters. So, and I think you have another one that is out, right? A second.
It's coming out.
Okay.
It will be coming out. So the first one was in 2006 and the next one was supposed to come out, but we've had some delays, but it will be coming out soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, can you elaborate on this book, please? You mentioned your daughters. I have a daughter too, so I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, Dr. Oswagu, can you tell us a little bit?
The first book was Letters to My Sisters, Plain Truths and Straightforward Advice from a Gynecologist that talks about common conditions that affect women and how to deal with it, but mostly to encourage people to have a really good conversation with their physicians. And I think it would be good for 15 and up, or if a 15-year-old wants to talk with their mother or an adult, that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's why I'm saving mine. My oldest is 9. She still has some time. Although, yeah, I won't embarrass her right now.
Okay. But the next one is coming. The next one is coming soon. Thank you.
So I think we talked to Dr. Mobology and let's see, Dr. Ndidi Obadan.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I'm having water.
Okay, that's cute.
My video is not showing, is it?
That's all right. And if I miss you at the end, please, say something. Right now I have Dr. Adobe Okobi.
Sorry, what did you ask? What did you ask?
About your cocktail or mocktail or whatever beverage you're having.
No, girl. I'm trying to give these.
No, I told them I'm having water.
So I don't have a cocktail, but I need one after this.
Well, amen. I understand.
It's okay, Adobe. Come over after you put them to bed. We'll have one together.
Yes, for sure.
Dr. Esther Kiyuno. You're muted if you're talking. Dr. Kelechi Lawrence.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I decided to lazy up. I'm not a cocktail person, so Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so I decided to take it easy. But now that I see that it looks like some of you are really serious about this thing, especially I know you went out and you started buying cocktail things and you started actually trying to become a bartender. Now we're gonna see what happens at the next time.
Exactly. Exactly.
But good program, ladies, very good.
Thank you. Dr. Ne Umba.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. My friend Ngozi Oswagu invited me to the program.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I've been driving and listening. I just got back home.
Okay.
So I'm not drinking anything.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're home safe.
Thank you. This was a nice program.
Thank you. And Dr. Tokwe Afon? You're muted if you're talking. Okay. I think that's everybody. Did I call on? Did I miss anyone?
No, I think you got everybody. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much.
I was out of the loop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So what are you having? New Yorker?
Okay, I believe picture is better than anything. In the midst of everything going on, and especially being in New York, and with the recent fire tragedy which we had in New York, which happens to be my district, which we lost 17 West African souls.
Wow.
This program has been very, very educative and helpful. And some of the things that we take for granted that will say, well, if you are in abroad, it doesn't happen. Yes, we had a fire tragedy that claimed 17 souls in my district.
Wow. Yeah, that's really sad.
For those that way. Yeah, it's very, very sad. And just a food for thought. Most of the victims were from Gambia. And 5 days ago, the ambassador of Gambia, who actually visited the scene the second day, meaning 10th of January, also passed away because of for lack of medical expertise. He ate something at a dinner, went into emergency surgery, and did not come back from that. And I'm saying this for the benefit of our surgeons who are on this call, especially our wonderful president of Npag'S. So thank you so much. It's been a
that's very sad. Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Is there anything we can do as a community? Because we don't want you to drink a whole bottle of wine all by yourself, but.
Well, what we can do as a community, as a group, is what you're already doing, but by getting involved and also by getting engaged, which is very important this time in light of everything else going on around us and the entire world. And that is what I share with the youth in my community, to get engaged. And interestingly, the Gambian Youth Association, for this incident, they got engaged and they were able to raise over $1 million.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And various Nigerian organizations have been very supportive, including Npag'S as well.
Great. All right, guys. Was there anything else, Lolade, that?
No, I think we just wanted to remind them about the next things we have coming up.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. So we are very excited actually to be able to have this night of tribute event to the Nigerian American appointees of the Biden administration. I think, when we really started to form the political action committee of that Npag'S helped create, we at the time this was 2020 with the Biden elections, and we were very engaged in that and supported Biden. And we've had a lot of he's appointed a lot of people into his cabinet. I think there are probably like 6 or 7 Nigerians who are there, and this is not counting other individuals of other African countries. And so we wanted to take the time as we continue to build that relationship with this administration in a way to foster our influence in Nigeria. we sort of wanted to keep that line of engagement open. And so this is how this idea was born. And we're doing this in partnership with the Congressional Nigeria Caucus. I think it's time that we let this Nigerian Congressional Caucus know that there are serious people who are really interested in Nigeria affairs and how the US interacts with Nigeria, which wasn't necessarily very clear during the previous administration. So this is April 7th is going to be, as it stands, is going to be an in-person event in Washington, D.C. It will be a ticketed event. We are welcoming sponsors to this event. We have different levels of sponsorship, ranging from $2,500 to $20,000. So if anyone is so inclined to sponsor, please, and we can share this on our website so people know exactly what you get with the different sponsorship levels. So, and our special guest will be the Deputy Secretary of Treasury, Wale Adeyemo, Nigerian American. And Dr. Ngozi is not necessarily Nigerian, well, she's Nigerian American. She's not really an appointee of the Biden administration, but the US was very instrumental in getting her to the Director General position of the World Trade Organization. So, so we're super excited. Again, there, like I said, they're going to be about 6 or so honorees, all of whom serve in one capacity or the other within the White House currently. And again, this is just trying to open that line of communication, that develop that partnership that will help us advance our cause in Nigeria. And then we're going to have another Cocktails and Connect in 3 months. Save the date, Saturday, May 14th. Please have your friends come. That won't be ticketed. It would be free like today, and hopefully more and more people will have cocktails. But I mean, water is good. You know, you're supposed to have at least
mocktails are good too.
Half your, half your body weight in pounds, right? Daily. So I definitely do encourage that, but you know, I also like a nice alcoholic beverage here and there. So please save your date, May 14th.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. We're so happy to have had you. This was fun. I hope you had as much fun. We believe we can learn about what's going on and still have fun while we're doing it. So hopefully we'll see more of us the next time. We'll have more amazing questions, and maybe we'll see who comes with the best cocktail next time. The Battle of the Cocktails.
And maybe we should have like Nigerian, you know, I was very inspired. I actually put on some Nigerian gear. So maybe as we go, you know, we will spice it up a little bit. So Dr. Chi had a question, time for event. Which event are you talking about?
I initially meant the April 7th event. I thought it was virtual, but then I realized that it's a ticketed event in DC. But forget that.
Yeah, okay. All right then. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. James. Thank you, Dr. Akintoye. Thank you for a very nice session. Have a great weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.